Do you ever feel stuck translating every word before speaking English? What if I told you there's a way to stop? Imagine being able to think naturally in English. No more slow responses, no more hesitation. In this video from Capybara English Listening, we'll reveal 10 powerful tips to help you train your brain to think directly in English. By the end, you'll learn practical techniques and hear real success stories from learners who broke free from translation mode. Ready to take your English to the next level? Let's dive in. 10 reasons why people struggle to think in English. Lack of vocabulary. Many learners struggle to think in English because they don't know enough words. When you don't have the right word, your brain automatically searches for it in your native language. Then, you translate the word before speaking, which slows down your thinking process. To fix this, focus on learning useful words and expressions that you use daily. The more words you know, the easier it is to form thoughts directly in English. Try labeling objects in your home with their English names. Use a word in 3 different sentences to remember it better. Repeat new words several times throughout the day to reinforce your memory. Keep a vocabulary journal and review words regularly. Learn synonyms and antonyms to expand your word choices. Fear of making mistakes. Some people are afraid to make mistakes when speaking English. They don't want to sound wrong, so they hesitate, stop, and think too much. This fear makes their thoughts slower because they focus more on correctness than fluency. But mistakes are part of learning. Speak out loud every day, even if it's just to yourself. Record yourself speaking and listen to your progress over time. Join online forums or language groups to interact with other learners. Don't compare yourself to others. Everyone learns at their own pace. Celebrate small improvements to stay motivated. Too much focus on grammar. Some learners get stuck because they think too much about grammar rules while speaking. They try to form perfect sentences in their minds before saying anything. However, this slows down their thinking process and makes them hesitate. Instead, focus on communication first and grammar second. Grammar will improve naturally with more speaking practice. Practice simple sentence structures before moving to complex ones. Use basic phrases to build confidence and fluency. Accept that small mistakes will happen, and that's okay. Engage in casual conversations where grammar is less important. Speak naturally, without worrying too much about correctness. Habit of translating. Many learners translate words and sentences from their native language before speaking English. This habit slows down thinking and makes English sound unnatural. To break this habit, try to connect words with images instead of translations. For example, when thinking of cat, picture the cat instead of translating it. Use English-only dictionaries to understand word meanings. Play word association games to strengthen direct word connections. Read simple English books to improve comprehension. Engage in activities where translation is not an option. Limited exposure to English. If you don't hear or use English regularly, your brain stays in your native language mode. Watching movies or listening to music in English helps develop familiarity. Set your phone, social media, and daily tools to English. Try thinking about your daily plans in English instead of your native language. Surround yourself with English-speaking content as much as possible. Find a language exchange partner to practice speaking daily. Listen to podcasts and audiobooks to improve comprehension. Engage in English conversations whenever possible. Read English newspapers or websites daily. Follow English-speaking social media accounts for casual exposure. Try playing video games or using apps that require English interaction. Lack of confidence. Many learners hesitate to speak because they doubt their abilities. They worry about their accent, pronunciation, or making mistakes. This self-doubt makes thinking in English more difficult. Confidence grows with practice. Keep speaking, even if it's not perfect. Remember that communication is more important than accuracy. Record yourself speaking English and listen for improvement. Take part in language challenges to push yourself. Remind yourself that learning a language takes time and effort. Surround yourself with encouraging people who support your learning. Read positive success stories of other language learners to stay motivated. Keep a list of the new things you learn every week to track your progress. Join group discussions or online meetups to gain real-life speaking practice. Watch videos of English learners sharing their learning journey. Thinking in full sentences too early. Some learners try to think in full sentences before they are ready. This can be overwhelming and slow down the thinking process. Start by thinking in key words and phrases instead of full sentences. For example, instead of, I need to go to the store to buy bread, think, store bread by. With time, these key words will naturally turn into full thoughts. Keep practicing by narrating small actions in your day. Think in simple words first and slowly build longer phrases. Avoid overcomplicating sentences when you are just starting. Accept that your thoughts don't have to be perfect at first. As your fluency improves, full sentences will come naturally. Not enough speaking practice. Reading and listening are important, but speaking is what truly helps thinking in English. Without speaking practice, your brain does not get used to forming English thoughts quickly. Try talking to yourself or practicing with a language partner. Even 10 minutes a day of speaking practice can make a big difference. Use voice memos to record your thoughts and listen to them later. Join language exchange programs to interact with native speakers. Challenge yourself to have short conversations with strangers. Participate in discussion groups or online forums in English. Use apps that allow voice chat with other English learners. The more you speak, the more natural thinking in English will become. Fear of forgetting. Your native language. Some learners worry that thinking in English will weaken their native language. This is a common fear, but is not actually a problem. Bilingual people can switch between languages easily without forgetting them. The brain is capable of managing multiple languages at the same time. Thinking in English will not make you forget your first language. Instead, it helps improve your ability to switch between languages fluently. You can practice both languages without losing skills in either. Keep reading and speaking in your native language to maintain balance. Being bilingual or multilingual has many cognitive benefits. Embrace the advantage of knowing more than one language. Overuse of subtitles and translations. Many learners rely too much on subtitles or translation apps. While these tools can help, they should not be used all the time. Try watching English videos without subtitles to improve comprehension. Focus on understanding the general meaning rather than every word. Listen to English podcasts and summarize what you understood. Gradually reduce the use of subtitles as your listening skills improve. Try guessing the meaning of new words from context. The less you rely on translation, the faster your brain adapts to English. Have you ever found yourself translating words in your head before speaking English? Do you struggle to express your thoughts quickly because you keep thinking in your native language? You're not alone. Many English learners face this challenge, but the good news is you can train your brain to think directly in English. In this video, I'll share 10 reasons why people struggle to think in English and 10 effective tips to help you break free from translation mode. By the end, you'll hear 3 inspiring stories of people who successfully trained their minds to think in English and how you can do the same. 10 tips to start thinking in English. Learn common phrases instead of individual words. Many learners focus on memorizing single words, but this makes it difficult to think in English fluently. Instead, learning full phrases helps your brain process language more naturally. For example, instead of memorizing the word hungry, learn phrases like I am hungry or I feel like eating. When you learn words in context, your brain will recall them faster. Start by noting down phrases you hear in conversations, movies, or books. Try using these phrases throughout the day in different situations. A useful exercise is to write out common expressions and practice using them in different conversations. For example, instead of just learning thank you, practice different ways to say it. I appreciate it, much obliged, or thanks a lot. By repeating these phrases daily, you train your brain to think in English without needing to translate. Describe what you see around you. One of the simplest ways to start thinking in English is to describe the things around you. Look at objects in your house, on the street, or at work and say their names in English. Then take it a step further. Describe them using colors, shapes, or actions. For example, instead of just saying car, think the red car is moving fast. This practice helps your brain associate English words directly with real objects instead of translating. Try making a habit of doing this throughout the day. Walk into a room and name 5 things in English. Try narrating your actions. I am opening the door. The sun is shining outside. The more details you add, the easier it becomes to form complete thoughts in English. Talk to yourself in English, talking to yourself. In English may feel strange at first, but it is one of the best ways to practice thinking in the language. Try speaking out loud when you are alone, narrating what you're doing. For example, while cooking, say, now I'm chopping vegetables, the pan is hot, I need to add oil. This helps reinforce vocabulary and improves fluency over time. If speaking out loud is not possible, try thinking silently in English. Have small internal conversations with yourself about your plans, your feelings, or what you see. Another great exercise is to practice dialogues in your head. Imagine yourself ordering coffee or asking for directions in English. This makes real conversations easier and helps you gain confidence. The key is consistency. Practice every day. Even if just for a few minutes, practice thinking in English. For a few minutes every day. Set aside a few minutes each day to force yourself to think only in English. Start small, just 5 minutes, and gradually increase the time. During this period, try to form sentences in your mind without translating. Think about your plans, what you need to do, or what you see. If you get stuck on a word, try describing it in English instead of translating. For example, if you forget the word mirror, you can say, the thing that shows my face. This trains your brain to find solutions without switching back to your native language. As you practice, your thoughts will start flowing more smoothly in English. Challenge yourself by picking different topics each day to think about. Over time, you will notice that you no longer need to translate before speaking. Use English for daily tasks. Make English a natural part of your everyday life by incorporating it into daily tasks. Change your phone's language settings to English. Write your shopping lists, reminders, and to-do lists in English. When browsing the internet, try reading articles and news in English instead of your native language. Think about your schedule for the day and plan it in English. The more you interact with English in practical ways, the faster you will start thinking in it. Start small, maybe just one task per day, like writing your daily journal in English. As this becomes a habit, add more tasks. This will create an English-speaking environment, even if you're in a non-English speaking country. Listen to more English without subtitles. One of the biggest obstacles to thinking in English is relying too much on subtitles. Watching movies or videos with subtitles in your native language prevents your brain from processing English naturally. Try watching English content without subtitles, even if you don't understand every word. Focus on the general meaning instead of trying to translate every sentence. Start with simple videos or slow speech podcasts. Rewatch a scene multiple times and try to understand more each time. Over time, your brain will get used to understanding spoken English without needing translations. Shadowing technique. Shadowing means repeating what a native speaker says immediately after them. This helps train your brain to process English in real time. Choose short videos or podcasts with clear pronunciation. Pause and repeat sentences until you can say them smoothly. Imitate the speaker's intonation and rhythm for better fluency. Practicing this daily will help you think and speak faster in English. Think in keywords instead of full sentences. If full sentences are difficult, start by thinking in simple keywords. Instead of, I need to go to the store to buy some bread, think store, bread, buy. Then, expand those words into natural sentences over time. This method makes it easier to train your brain to function in English. Use this technique while doing everyday activities like planning meals or work tasks. Immerse yourself in English. The more English you hear and see, the faster you will think in it. Read books, watch TV shows, and follow English-speaking influencers. Surround yourself with English-speaking friends or join conversation groups. The key to immersion is using English as much as possible in daily life. Keep a thinking journal in English. Write down your thoughts in English every day. Start with simple sentences and gradually expand them. Journaling helps organize thoughts and improves fluency over time. If you don't know a word, describe it using words you already know. Reflecting in English will train your brain to process thoughts in the language naturally. 3 stories of successful English learning. Carlos's story. From slow thinking to fluent conversations. Carlos had been studying English for years, but every time he spoke, he struggled. His biggest problem? He translated every word from Spanish in his head before speaking. This made conversations slow, awkward, and frustrating. Even though he understood English, he couldn't respond fast enough. Then he decided to change his approach. Instead of memorizing words in isolation, he started learning full phrases. He described everything around him in English and practiced shadowing native speakers. At first, it was hard, but after a few months, something amazing happened. Carlos stopped translating in his head. His thoughts started forming in English naturally, and he could finally have smooth conversations without pausing. Today, he works in an international company and confidently speaks English every day. Aisha's story, overcoming the fear of mistakes. Aisha loved English but was terrified of speaking. She thought every mistake made her sound foolish. Because of this fear, she avoided conversations and always second-guessed herself. One day, she decided enough was enough. She started using the 5-minute thinking exercise, where she forced herself to think only in English for a few minutes every day. She also began speaking to herself out loud, narrating her daily routine. Most importantly, she stopped worrying about mistakes and focused on getting her message across instead of being perfect. After 6 months, Aisha's confidence skyrocketed. She applied for a study program abroad and got accepted. Now she speaks English fluently and no longer feels nervous when having conversations. Liam's story. From subtitles to understanding English naturally. Liam had a habit of watching English movies and YouTube videos, but always with subtitles. Whenever he turned them off, he felt lost and frustrated, unable to understand anything. Because of this, he never felt confident in real life conversations. Determined to change, Liam started immersing himself in English without relying on subtitles. At first, he chose slower podcasts and repeated them until he understood more. He also started reading simple books in English and guessing the meaning of new words from context instead of translating them. After consistent practice, something changed. One day, he realized he could understand conversations without effort. Now he watches entire movies without subtitles and has no problem following native speakers in real life.